Welcome back. Woo. Look at my legs. There we go. Welcome back. We are live. And earlier this week, we talked about Stephanie Hansen's road trip out west. And another one of our regulars, another one of our family members, did something very similar. She hopped in an airstream, grabbed her wine, and headed to California. Well, now she's on her way back, joining us live from Jackson Hole, and let's hope she's not calling for some bail money, the wine diva herself, Leslee Miller from Amuse Wine. Hello, Leslee.
Hello. How are you, Jason?
You don't need any bail money, do you? You haven't gotten in any trouble on the road, have you?
No. You know, I've traded in some flip-flops, and I have to have a cowboy hat today. I was looking for an elk to walk by my airstream here just on time, but didn't happen this morning.
I am impressed that even you're there for a short amount of time. I see you decorated for the 4th of July. Nice decorations in the airstream there.
You know, you got to do it up in here. It's basically a little apartment that we've been living in for the last 3 weeks, so I had to make it nice and comfy.
So you told me about this the last time you were on the show, but share with the folks, because I am curious, what was the motivation for this? Because we do know a lot of people, we talked to the Thrifty Traveler, a lot of people are doing road trips. What was the motivation, Leslee, and where have you guys gone?
Well, we have been wanting to do this for a very long time, and we live right downtown Minneapolis. And with my business, I can actually teach things on the road. So I've been teaching virtual wine classes from the Airstream. But we just wanted a little bit of a break, and my better half, he hadn't seen certain parts of the country, so I thought it would just be really fun to kind of zoom around. We started in, obviously, Minneapolis. We went to Colorado, went through Colorado Springs, down to beautiful Santa Fe, which, by the way, if you haven't spent time there, do that. Then kind of made our way across to Flagstaff, Arizona, landed in the very, very hot Joshua Tree area where it was 110 degrees for the 4th of July.
Oh, what was it?
It was very hot.
Leslee, let me ask you, what was it about Santa Fe? Because you got really excited about Santa Fe. What was it about it?
Well, I lived in Durango, Colorado for 10 years, and I used to go down to Santa Fe a lot. I love the architecture. I love the culture. You know, not a lot of places are open, but there's beautiful museums of the Navajo Nation. It's really stunning. If you like history and culture and just, you know, stunning architecture and landscape, that's the place.
And you mentioned this briefly too. You've been working, and it hasn't just been a vacation. You taught a virtual Chardonnay class, right?
Yeah, I did. So we let people know that we were going someplace to go teach this class. So from Joshua Tree, we went to Santa Barbara, California, where I taught from a girlfriend of mine lives there. So we taught from her backyard, and I had a winemaker from Santa Barbara join us via Zoom from the area to talk about the Chardonnays from Santa Barbara. And then from there, we worked our way all the way up the coast. 101, by the way, just so stunning this time of year. We went to Healdsburg. I have another family friend that has a winery there. Went into the Redwoods, which is so magical. Redwoods. And then we went to Bend, Oregon, where we went to Crater Lake. We came across to Idaho, and now here we are in Jackson, Wyoming.
I love it. Okay, so I see that you have some wines in front of you. And you have the top 5 California wines, right?
I do. So there's one missing here, but I'm going to talk about it. So, you know, starting with, these are some regions that I don't think that people really go towards a lot. They always go to Napa and Sonoma, but Santa Barbara County has to be one of the coolest wine regions if you love Pinot Noir, Syrah, and absolutely Chardonnay. And I picked up maybe 24 rosés while I was there. And I found this beautiful little winery called Railsback. So a lot of like those big, beautiful, juicy Rhone varietals like Grenache, Syrah, and so you get these really stunning examples of wine there. But if you love Chardonnay, this is the region for you to go to. It's a cool climate region for Chardonnay. So Santa Barbara is really, really stunning, and probably one of the most overlooked, I would say, in the way of the Central Coast, California.
You know, the only good thing, the only bad thing, Leslee, Lord knows I like having you on the show in any capacity. Here, and this is where the pandemic can really just bite me, is the fact that it's preventing me from drinking that wine. You know what I mean? Usually you're right next to me drinking that wine. So I'm really mad at COVID today. What's next? What's the next wine?
I hear you. So, also as you're making your way up the coast, there's a tiny little region called the Carneros Valley. And the Carneros is basically snuggled in between Napa, which is inland, very hot, and Sonoma. And there's a little baby region down at the bottom of that called Carneros. And they make, again, really beautiful examples of Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, but also dry Riesling is there, Sauvignon Blancs, just unbelievable examples, again, of cool climated grape varietals. And this has to be one of the coolest wineries that you need to visit once you're up and running and going to wineries. This is Scribe Winery, a couple of young hipsters that started this beautiful, they have twinkly lights decorated all over their vineyard. Scribe is great, and they have this great Pinot Noir that I love. Also,
and Leslie, we have about 30 seconds.
Perfect. As we head up into Dry Creek, which is Sonoma Valley, you have to get your teeth around these big, juicy, meaty Zins. Peterson Winery is great there. And then also I discovered this beautiful little company made by a couple out there in Sonoma County that's making awesome vermouth out of Sonoma County Chardonnay. So really awesome examples all over the coastline, all the way up into the north. If you have more questions about them, obviously you guys know where to find me.
Absolutely, and I will tell them where to find you. Happy trails, my dear friend. I'll see you when you get back.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jace.
Bye, sweetheart. Leslee Miller, everybody. For more information, head to her website, amusewine.com. Coming up next, another one of our favorites, Pierre Paul, is back. We'll chat live with him right after these messages. Stay with us.